All right, so today is June 25th, 2021, and I am your host, Dasher, alongside with the one and only RJ, also known as Poppy RJ.
Papi RJ.
Welcome to the podcast. This is the fourth podcast that we have, I believe, on the channel. And today we're just going to talk about just a little bit of topics such as, let's see what we have here in today's thing. We have how we met, we have a high school growth, as well as college and future plans, along with other stuff if we think about it. So, first of all, RJ, thanks for coming over. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How you doing, Dasher?
I'm doing good. Yeah, so if you guys do not know, today is my birthday. As you can see, check out this setup we have here. I have a new microphone as well as a boom arm. And
Your boy's big 18 today.
yeah, big 18, let's go. Anyways, yeah. So we're probably going to be doing more podcasts. I'm sure we'll think of something. I can't promise anything because I always do that in my videos, and then we end up not, doing that. So we'll just see how it goes. Anyways, all right. So let's start off with the first topic today. So how did we meet?
You want to start off?
All right, so I was a new student. So if you guys don't know anything about me, I'm a military kid, and every 3 years we move. So when we moved to Maryland, it was the start of my sophomore year, I believe. And I go in, right? And so you know how high school is, you're always nervous or whatever. I walk in. This was what was the class again?
It was AP Gov.
Yeah, AP Government. So it's the only AP class I took, by the way, because I'm not that smart. Anyway, so I walk in, and you get to choose your table or whatever, and I just chose a random table. I met up with this one kid named Jacob, and he was pretty cool. And so I saw him sitting down. So I was like, "Oh, cool, Jacob's there." So I sat next to him. And then we had other people. So we had this one girl, and then we had Renil. And so during, I guess, we had group assignments and stuff. That's just normal how it is in high school. And I guess you could lead on with this, Renil.
Yeah, so pretty much I'm just sitting at the desk. I see a nerdy looking Filipino kid come up to me. He's like, "Hey, you're Filipino. Let me sit with you." I'm like, "Hey, how's it going?" Yeah, I guess he's cool. So yeah, we were just always doing group work together, doing all that type of stuff, and at lunch, just like friendly things.
Yeah.
And I guess eventually, we're here now, right?
Yeah,
So
things happen,
things
So,
happen.
yeah, Renil's been a pretty good friend for me.
I'm good.
But yeah, we've been pretty cool ever since. So I guess that's just how friendships are in high school. But I guess like we were in class one day, we just saw something happen, and then you just start laughing, and then things like that happen. But we started off, I think our first time actually like hanging out together, we were playing basketball. We went to a basketball court near my place, and then I guess from there, that's how friendships go. But you guys always see him on the channel. He's really funny.
I suck at video
He
games.
sucks at video games. Yep, the only one without a YouTube. Speaking of that, will you ever make a YouTube channel?
No, I will not. I'm not a gamer. I don't think I'm not really into like the tech stuff, so I won't have the setup or anything, so probably not.
I feel like you can make gym videos. I don't know.
Videos. Who's going to record me since someone doesn't want to go to the gym with me anymore? So
Yeah, I guess so. You're right, but things can happen. You never know. Anyways, let's head on to our next subject for today, which is about high school growth. So Renil chose this topic. So what made you decide that you wanted to do high school growth as a topic?
it's just basically branching off of like everything else that we've been talking about, how we met, high school, future
Right.
plans, stuff like that. I feel like it's kind of an important aspect moving on to college. So
Yeah. The reason why we're laughing is because, I guess since this is our first. Oh, yeah. Speaking of it, this is our first in real life podcast, as you can tell. I have the whole setup. He helped me out. Thank you for that as well. But yeah, so talking about high school growth, I guess we'll branch off of that, and we'll talk about what are we going to do after high school. I'm not sure if we talked about that in our recent podcast, but it's good to just refresh ourselves. So RJ, what are you going to do after high school?
after high school, I'm going to be on a 3-year Army RTC scholarship. going to the University of Maryland.
Yeah.
Hopefully going to pursue a career as an officer. Planning on doing that for at least about 20 years, and then see where it goes from there.
That sounds pretty good. So for me personally, I'm going to try to do computer hardware engineering. I'm going to a community college, and then I'm going to go to transfer to another college. I'm doing computer engineering. I'm going to try to work into one of those high companies if YouTube doesn't work out, probably something like Nvidia or AMD, all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's just a part of life, finding a job and all that stuff. Military is a pretty good option. It's a second option for me, but yeah. Speaking of that, I guess we can branch off to the next subject, which is college. So yeah, so the reason why I want to do community college is because obviously it's a lot cheaper as well, and because of location as well. So I feel like if you guys are going out of high school and you're trying to find a college, consider community college. It's really not a bad option. What are you doing, Renil?
I'm going to be going to the University of Maryland, but I'm not paying for tuition, which is I would have went the community college route if I didn't get the scholarship.
Yeah.
Because like you said, it's a lot more, it's better financially if you do community college.
Yeah. But Renil was pretty lucky. I mean, speaking of that, I guess we can
I wouldn't call it luck, but
yeah.
I'm just that good.
Yeah. He is pretty good. So I guess that can go back to one of our first topics of how we met. When I first joined, when I was in high school, I see this thing called JROTC. I see one kid, he was in it. His name is DeAndre, but he showed me like the uniform and stuff, and I thought it was really, really cool. And so I guess that's how me and Renil, we had a better bond throughout the years. You know what I mean? Because we had ROTC for a little bit, and it's a really good program. I recommend you guys try it out, and it teaches you all about things such as leadership and everything about that. But anyways, that's how we like got a better bond with each other. It's really funny, like when you're with your friend and like something funny happens, and ROTC is like one of those serious classes. So like
it's funny right now because we're trying to be serious, but
yeah,
we never really have serious conversations without laughing
like, at all.
So,
yeah. I'm sure you guys have friends just like that. I mean, you've seen us play video games before and stuff like that, but we're just trying to keep it more, I guess, serious in a way, because it's a podcast or whatever. But yeah, so we talked about all four of our topics for now. Do you have anything that you want to really talk about? We can talk about like memories or something.
I guess you could maybe talk about high school memories.
Oh yeah,
I'm not really sure.
Oh, did we ever talk about homecoming?
Yeah, we did.
We talked
about
the last
podcast
homecoming?
we did. It was with Ian.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh man, what else? We can talk about graduation. That's something that I feel like we should talk about. So, graduation for this year, I feel like it was pretty good compared to obviously last year. So I don't know if you guys are into all that stuff, but class of 2020, that's when the whole virus started. So I'm starting to get all down on you guys or whatever, but that virus thing is really, really serious, and I've made a video on it in the past. But so obviously they didn't have a graduation ceremony, but this year we did. So class of 2021, we went to a stadium. I don't remember the stadium, but
it was Crofton High School. Yeah. On their football field.
Yeah, Crofton High School, and it was a really interesting experience. I'm sure like many of you guys, you've graduated before, but it's always scary. I can show a picture up right now of a picture of us when we were graduated. That'd be really cool. But yeah, so just getting your name called up or whatever, the experience. Oh, and there was a lot of cicadas as well. So yeah. Those things.
If you live in Maryland, you already know.
Yeah, so it was really fun. But the overall experience, I feel like it's something that I wouldn't say is life-changing or whatever, but it's one of those memories that you'll keep forever, I'm never going to forget about that. I have my degree in my room right now. It's just sitting right there, and it's really cool. It's a next step up, you know what I mean? Renil, did you feel anything during the graduation? Like, how are you feeling during the time?
It was hot. It was really hot.
Yeah.
So it was really about 90 degrees outside. Everybody's wearing, dress shirts, dress pants under the cap and gown.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be really hot. And then eventually, like, the ambulance comes around.
Oh my God.
And then like a couple people behind us, you see like some people are like having like a heat stroke. They're like passing out.
Yeah. I think there was like at least three people that actually like passed out. One of them I actually know, and I feel really bad, but like, yeah, it was a harsh environment, I'd say, but it's all about celebrating and everything. You gotta keep the positives up and stuff like that. But yeah.
Yeah, so with COVID, it wasn't like a traditional graduation, like with everybody stuck together.
Oh right.
And
Yeah.
then there was a lot of social distancing, that type of stuff. It
Yes.
was optional to wear a mask because I'm assuming most people got the vaccine already.
Yeah. This was
And
at the
then,
time where I believe when I mean, I don't know if you guys follow news or whatever, but Joe Biden, he posted on his Instagram that if you have both your vaccines, then you can officially take your mask off in certain places, obviously. Like probably not in the shop, but like yeah, outside, you're outdoors and then you have your vaccines and stuff. So it's one of those things where I think obviously you're gonna remember a lot, because not just because it's just a regular graduation, but as well as the pandemic and stuff, this is the first time coming back. Our student president, he actually made a joke about it, like sitting all day, but like it's pretty good, pretty good. Let's see.
how do you feel about the online environment, especially with it being your last year in high school?
Right. So yeah, that's another thing that I feel like we should talk about. So the online, obviously, since it's the whole pandemic, some people, we had a thing in our school. It was like a hybrid thing. Renila actually did it once, and I don't think I don't think.
Yeah, I attended it. I was the only kid in JRTC, and I never came back. That's how that went.
Yeah. So we would rely on, some people rely on Zoom and stuff, but our school in particular relied on Google Classroom, and I felt like online classes is something that it can be easy. Personally, I feel like it's easier than real life classes, but at the same time, I understand if people say it's hard, because the reason why I found it easy is because you get to basically stay in bed while you do class, and like it's pretty easy. You just wake up, you do that. You can literally have breakfast while you're learning in class. But obviously, and the downsides for that is people can find it hard to focus. For example, there's a lot of people that I know that have their grades drop down because of it, because like it's hard to get that extra help with stuff like that. But how did you feel personally about it, Renil?
Personally, I think there's like a lot, like you said, a lot of pros and cons with online school. First being, I think grades wise, it's way easier to pass in my opinion.
I agree too.
But
yeah,
in terms of like actually learning the content that they're teaching, then no, you're not really learning as much as if you were in like an in-person environment, hands-on learning. You're with everybody else. You can't like lay in bed on your phone like during class. And not to say that you should cheat, but it's way easier to cheat online.
It is way easier to cheat.
Because all the tests are online. You can easily like open another tab, look up the answers, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't do it. But not saying I did it.
Did you do it? That's funny. Yeah. It's just something that's another thing. Like, it's something that our class in particular, I mean, other classes as well, but class of 2021, that's something that they've dealt with. I'm sure like 2022, all that, but not for future classes, hopefully, because of, the pandemic or whatever. How did the pandemic affect your everyday life?
I feel like socially, because, if you're home all day, you can't really go out.
Right.
Like for school, for example, for people who like are more on the shy side, then I guess, online school is more of a plus, because you don't have to put yourself out there. You don't have to talk in public, stuff like that. But like for those who are more social, they like to talk to people, they have a lot of friends and stuff. You can't really see your friends as often.
I agree.
It's kind of like I said with the school, it's harder to learn. Like it's more hands-on when you're in person. And then, it's just
it's okay.
Brain fart.
Yeah.
It's just tougher online for more social people, I guess.
I understand. Yeah. There was a time where I think I really wanted to go, for example, I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I do a bowling league now. Recently I actually started bowling. We both been like, bowling. It's just a fun thing to do, but back then during the pandemic, the alley was shut down, and that really sucks for people. There's this series on Netflix. It's like called Last Chance University, It's like a basketball thing. I don't know if you seen it before?
No, I haven't heard of it.
It's like a thing where there's this basketball team and they're like trying to get to the championship or whatever, and it's a real life document. These people came from, you know, the lowest of the lows, or like, you know, they grew up in bad environments, and they get to the championship, and then next thing you know, right when they get to the championship, the pandemic starts and their season like got canceled. So players like that, even like, you know, professional players and stuff, this virus has affected everyone.
Yeah, I feel like some people just rely on sports, like for scholarships and stuff. I feel bad for class of 2020 because, you know, maybe you play basketball or something. You're trying to get a basketball, football scholarship, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That kind of affects your chances. So
yeah, it does. And so the good news is the pandemic is not officially over, but it's definitely getting better. We finally have, you know, what is it called? The vaccines.
The vaccine.
Yeah, the vaccines. We both have ours. Yeah. So it's fine for us to hang out and stuff. And, you know, our everyday jobs. So recently for my job, I mean, we have the same job.
Yeah.
We you no longer have to wear masks and stuff. But something that really does, it confuses me. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I know this one kid that, like, he doesn't want to take the virus. I mean, he doesn't want to take the vaccine, and I feel like that's how do you feel about that? The people who choose not to take the vaccines.
I mean, that's more on them, but at the same time, they can still spread it if they were to get it. So
right.
It may be like their personal choice, but it's also still affecting other people. Like if they have like elderly people at home or like younger children.
Yeah. Yeah. It just makes no sense to me because, like, I guess, you know how there's conspiracy theories or whatever. Some people, I literally know this is real. This is a real story. I know this one kid who thinks like you can no longer have kids if you get the virus.
You get the vaccine.
Or something like that. And it's just crazy to me because, like, you know, we grow up. Oh, that's something that I want to talk about. We grow up in a society where I wouldn't say is soft, but I would say is definitely like more softer than the other, you know, than back then. I don't want to get, you know, too personal because, you know,
some people get offended.
Some people will get offended. Yeah, even if I just literally said that one thing. But, you know, that's what I'm talking about. Since we're so advanced, you know, it's crazy to think how back then, you know, people didn't really think like this.
Yeah, there's a lot of changes to like what's normal nowadays.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And so that's why I don't know if you've seen my Fortnite video, but I have this one clip of me. It was a Fortnite video, and there was a guy swimming, and I said, like, what did I say? I said, I'm gonna chase after him. He's in the water. He's gay or something like that. And, you know, it's supposed to be a joke, and personally, I find it funny. But, you know, I understand if other people think that is offensive, and that's why, if you've noticed in that video, I have a little edit, and the edit says, "I do not have anything against gay people," and it's stuff like this where back then you wouldn't really have to say, but nowadays, you know, you can get into a lot of trouble for it.
Yeah.
But personally, I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing that we're changing, you know, and we're realizing these things. You know, some people take it too overboard, but
yeah, they try to normalize a lot of weird stuff nowadays.
Yeah, but like, you know, it's good to have, I guess, opinion and rights and all that stuff. So it's something to look at, you know. Is there anything else that you want to talk about, really?
No,
okay.
I can't.
That's okay. All right. Well, it is now 5:28 p.m. I'm actually since it's my birthday, I'm actually gonna go out to eat with my family. You know, we're gonna have some burgers, Baskin Robbins. Yum. You know?
Yum.
Yeah. I guess I could talk like last thing is about like my birthday. I'm really grateful for the people that I have, my friends. For example, Renil and also Ian. And I don't know if you're watching. You're probably watching. Thank you so much, man. He gave me an Apple Watch. You know, Renil. He bought me like some Gymshark stuff. You know, like it's really nice to have friends like that. And it's not just because, you know, they buy you stuff or whatever, but I'm sure you guys know this literally in basically all my videos. These two, Renil and Ian, you guys have always been there for me, as well as my brother, you know. But that's why it's important, I feel like, in general, just to build relationships with other types of people, because you just never know what's gonna happen. I never knew that I was going to freaking do this podcast with Renil.
Back to when we met, I thought he was a little bit weird at first, not gonna lie.
Exactly.
He probably thought I was like a pretty shy kid.
I actually called him Arneil on
Yeah, he thought my name was Arneil. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. But yeah, so the gist of it, yeah. And then my birthday, we actually went to Micro Center. I'm sure, I think I talked about earlier, but I bought this boom arm and then a nice microphone to treat myself, as well as other things as well. And so obviously I feel like the quality of my YouTube content will be better. Hopefully we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's the end of this podcast. So once again, today is Friday, June 25th. It is now 5:30. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned in. And Renil, do you have anything else to say?
No. Thanks for having me, Dasher.
Yeah, thank you. So we'll think about doing this like every week. We'll see what happens. But anyways, it's nice seeing you guys. Have a good one. Stay safe.